Yeah, we should be live. Let's see what's going on Twitch. I think so. Yeah, we're live.
Nice.
Can someone tune in and make sure it doesn't sound terrible?
Yeah, give me just a second.
Sometimes I'm quieter than you guys, but I think it's because I have to eat my microphone. I'll eat the microphone. Okay, so we're out with earnings here. I'm gonna just drag and drop it on the screen. So GameStop reports fourth quarter financial results. It's a revenue miss. Yeah, that's a revenue miss. Let's see what earnings per share are. Well, their net income's up a lot. What happened? What did they do? Oh, wow. That looks like a pretty big earnings beat.
Hello. Yes. Hey.
If I'm reading this right, 29 cents per share. So it's a revenue miss and an earnings beat. Isn't that kind of the trend lately? Interesting. See how they're giving us the full year numbers too. GameStop reports a profit for the full year. That's news. Okay, so I think we got a couple stories here, guys. Let me help you guys write some headlines. So GameStop. Sorry to the folks at home who are hearing me type on my keyboard, but I don't know what else to do. I have to eat my microphone while deafening you with my typing. I don't know if that's too long. I don't know who's getting that, but if you could tell me how many characters it is. But I was saying GameStop Q4 2024 earnings results miss revenue expectations on larger than expected profit. I think that's the right way to describe that.
It's 96. Should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, so let's go with that. Let me get you the estimates were... Let me see. I have them in Asana. Let me just see if there's any... I imagine there's some kind of hair on this quarter, because that is a very large earnings per share beat. See what they're saying. Post market, it's up 3%. Revenue down, EPS beat. Oh, Jesus. Is that true that they...
Supplementals aren't up yet, but yeah, we're waiting on like the 10K and all that.
So they're... Okay, so... It looks like they had positive cash flow, so let me see what the hell's going on here. Net income was positive. Cash flow from operating was positive. Cash flow from investing was positive. They bought more marketable securities. They made money off of marketable securities. Proceeds from the sale of a business unit, $7 million. I wonder if that's Game Informer, guys.
That might be Game Informer.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems...
7 million, huh?
What you're seeing now is me wondering if I should have bought Game Informer. No, that's a lot. $7 million. That's a lot of hamburgers. I don't know if that's. I mean, like, what else could they have sold?
Yeah.
How much does that compare to what you bought Shacknews for?
I'm not gonna say that. Oh man.
No, really. Like there are some parallels between this story and what happened with Shacknews and GameFly back in the day.
Big time. Let's just say I have an NDA, Ozzy, so I can't really talk about some of these things.
Okay.
I don't want to break laws or do wrong by any counterparties who I respect.
Get ninjas at your doorstep.
I don't think ninjas would show up at this point, but it's let's see, increase, decrease. Oh, is this for the full year? Okay, so they end the full year with $4.789 billion of cash. That's probably worth breaking out, but I think the bigger story here is that GameStop reported back-to-back profitable years. I think that's worth breaking out. Because I don't think many people thought that was going to happen. And honestly, I'm trying to think of the last time that was the case for GameStop. Let's see. Candlestick. 4 years. Yeah, I don't fucking know the last time they did this. I can't recall. That's wild. Okay, so yeah, I think that's another headline. Let's see what the chart's looking like. Okay, so it went up on the news about 3 or 4%. I just want to point out something to people who are like expecting it to go to the moon this year. We're stuck inside of another year. The last year's range, you're dead in the center of it right now. So good luck. If you're buying call options this year, Godspeed. But we'll go back to the shorter term chart to make you GameStop longs feel better about yourselves. Let's see. So let me see. Where's that fucking annual? Sorry, I didn't give you the comparisons. It was 29 cents. I don't know who took that first headline. Oh, Donovan. Yeah, that's
Yep.
I'm just putting in the actual numbers for you. So that EPS at 29 cents is their actual EPS. And then,
Thank you.
Yeah, their revenue came in light. Which I kind of said when we were talking about this yesterday on our staff call, right? Like, I don't think people realize the struggle that they're facing on the hardware front right now. But I don't think people care. Oh, so they claim they completed the divestiture of Italy and wind down of store operations in Germany. So that might be the $7 million too. Do they mention Game Informer by name? They don't. Not anywhere in this. Yep. No mention of Game Informer in this press release. I wonder if the buyer was under NDA. Like there's like some sort of quiet period. Or like we don't know when the deal took place either.
Yeah, it's true.
No, there's no details on that. Just we just know who the buyer is.
Because this quarter that we're looking at right now, Ozzy, is as of the 1st of February 2025. So if the sale occurred after that, we wouldn't know. And I have a feeling we don't know. which is annoying, but this is fucking GameStop. They're masters of just not telling you anything. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna screenshot this, and we can use this for the next headline. But yeah, when you look at their consolidated statement of operations, I think the headline is profits. I don't know if it should be past tense or not, but like I said, GameStop reports back-to-back profits in 2024 and 2023. I think that's right. But yeah, GameStop back above 27. So like last year, you'll remember there was this price point I kept talking about, and we saw it vacillate between it all the time. That was 27.65. That number doesn't mean anything anymore. Hey, Lucci Dobra, welcome to the stream, buddy. We're talking about GameStop and stock charts. So yeah, you had an outside year last year where it broke down below that and then back above it, closed the year above it. So now we're looking at, for a real continuation of what we saw last year, you need to get above $64.83, which is unlikely given they diluted shareholders up there repeatedly. So yeah, I'm not sure what anyone expects out of the stock this year. But yeah, shorter term charts look pretty good. Let's see. I don't know if this is new. I don't think it is, because they used to own some kind of crypto during their NFT era, but it does say the company's investment policy permits investments in certain cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and U.S. dollar denominated stablecoins. If the company acquires Bitcoin, the company will be exposed to certain risks. Yeah, I think that's just the safe harbor stuff they've been saying for a while. I know Lucci, man. Like, I told everyone under the sun to buy this stock, and I know it didn't make any sense when I was doing it, but I don't know. I have a track record of fundamental analysis of companies. What I'm really trying to figure out is, where did this profit come from? You know what I mean? Like, where on earth is the profit coming from? Oh, their margins improved by about 5% year over year. That's something. Are they even breaking shit down between hardware, software, and collectibles anymore? There it is. Okay. Hardware was 56% of sales. Software was 22.3. Oof. And collectibles were 21% of shares. So yeah, of sales. Collectibles are up 8% from the prior year. And that makes sense given that push that we were talking about yesterday, guys, with the PSA grading and stuff.
Yeah.
And also just they're selling a lot of Pokemon cards. I know that that latest, I don't know, they call them ETBs, the expansion.
The next expansion just got announced, yeah. But interestingly enough, it was this quarter that GameStop canceled pre-orders. You can't pre-order Pokemon cards at GameStop anymore. They stopped doing that like a month ago.
Yeah, they're making you line up and, you know, do the old iPhone line thing.
Yeah.
Which is not great because, you know, people fight in parking lots and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at the full year, collectibles revenue was actually down. That's not good. Full year revenue was down across the board. That's interesting. So once again, I'm like, where is this money? Where's this profit coming from, guys? Is it really just cutting costs? Yeah, Lucci saw the Pokemon card fight. Yeah, man, it's crazy. You gotta be careful out there if you're a collector. Well, yeah, look at the income statement. That's gonna be... That'll give us some idea of where the hell this is. Net income was $131 million compared to $6 million last year. Company will not hold a conference call because they're losers. Anyway, let's see if I can find it. Did they have their 10K out there yet? I'm just seeing their 8K posted. Let's see. They have any other update to its investment? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I got another story for you guys. I don't know who can jump on this one. F11, this shit. There you go. I think this is what people were talking about on Twitter. And this is probably why the stock's up in after hours, to be honest. Because I don't know, the earnings beat's fine, but you know it's a mixed report when you have an earnings beat and a revenue miss, right? GameStop's board of directors. Oh, sorry. Windows is trying to get me to restart during a stream. It's pretty sweet, right? Bitcoin as an approved treasury reserve asset. This is gonna blow up in their face, guys. It's gonna be hilarious. But here's my problem. So you have $4.7 billion, and this is your best idea, is to buy Bitcoin with it after it's run I don't know how many percent. Anyway, so yeah, I'd say this is another breakout, guys. Yeah, let me get this off. I think that's part of why the stock is rallying in after hours. Whoever's on this one, Ozzy, I just gave you the link to the press release for that. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a GME call coming up, so... This is your GME conference call. Once a quarter, I come up on our Twitch stream and talk about GameStop for about 30 minutes, and it's more informative than Ryan Cohen is all year. I don't know, guys. If you had $4.7 billion, is the only idea you would have be to buy Bitcoin? Or would you do something else with it?
Definitely not that.
What would you do, Donovan?
I don't know. I don't think I'd buy cryptocurrency, though. Probably buy a house.
Would you pivot to just being a Bennigan's instead?
Never been to one.
Yeah, that's sad.
Never been to one.
The one in Ohio closed.
I don't know if we have any out here.
I'm going to dig into these results again, see if I can find anything. Cash, the divestiture, Let's see what the Jaboofers on Twitter are tweeting about. Updated to its investment policy, Treasury Reserve asset, Treasury Reserve asset. Yeah. To no one's surprise, the Bitcoin people are going crazy on Twitter about this.
Yeah, of course.
They tweeted it from the GameStop account. This
Oh
change
yeah, they did.
in this change in investment policy. So you just might want to include this in the article you're writing. But like they actually tweeted it.
They're very proud of themselves on this one.
It's like okay. Yeah, the usual suspects are all very excited about this. This reminds me of the NFT marketplace, you guys. You know how they were like 18 months late?
Yeah.
Like how GameStop would it be if they top tick the Bitcoin market? They like put all their billions into Bitcoin and then it crashes. Wouldn't that be the most GameStop outcome here?
That'd be pretty glorious.
I'm not wishing it upon them, but based on how horribly they timed the NFT marketplace and like the build out and the launch and the ultimate shuttering of it, I have zero confidence that they're good at timing this crypto market. So good luck, guys. But yeah,
in about 4 years, GameStop is going to announce its new AI technology for helping you find games on its website.
called they take the Bucky Bunny and they turn it into like Clippy.
Yeah. Like years after everybody else has been running the AI trend into the dirt, that's when GameStop will show up and say, we're in it now.
Oh man. No, the year is 2037. GameStop announces Battle Royale game. No, I don't know. This is it's fine. This news is fine, I guess. Let's see. I think the data that we're waiting for is the 10K. Yeah, here we go. It's out. The 10K is out in case the folks at home are wondering. Let's throw it up on the stream. What do you say? Here you go. Okay. I'm actually going to read it over here. Because I think usually we will break out the directly registered shares. Okay. So 69.5 million shares of Class A common stock were held by registered shareholders. I think that's down. Can someone look up our last DRS article?
Sure.
Let's see. December, we reported 71 million. I think that's our most recent one, right?
Should be.
So this is from the 10K. Let me see if I can. Why can't I find this number now? Registered holders. Maybe that's a better keyword. Yeah. So we're talking about this right here. This is your DRS number. And that is down. What have I done? There you go. There you go. 69.5 million. And that's down from, I think I said 71. That's been going down for several quarters. It's probably because it doesn't actually do anything. You know, good work, everybody. I just realized my camera's blocking some of the text there. My bad. So yeah, I'd say that's I think the Bitcoin story is pretty big. You know, for this company, I guess. And then I don't know. Bitcoin story. They did break that out into a separate filing. But when you look at the balance sheet, I guess that would be something to look at. Like, how much crypto do they own? So it's $4.75 billion of cash. They let their marketable securities mature. Oh, that's what happened. So instead of reinvesting their treasuries like they have been, they just let them mature. So that turns into cash. Okay. Let's go back to the stock chart. Stock's holding in there.
Yeah. Right about that now, actually.
Investing, purchases of marketable securities, proceeds from. Yeah, so they made 42.9 million from the proceeds of their marketable securities, and they invested 32.2. But I don't see any indication that they bought Bitcoin during the quarter. So if they did, it happened after February 1st. But I think if they did, they probably would have disclosed it. Yeah, proceeds from the sale of digital assets. That was they sold off some crypto that they got from the NFT marketplace a year ago. But there's no evidence that they've actually bought any Bitcoin. This is the news today is that they're allowed to buy Bitcoin. That's the news. So, Ozzy, just some color for your story. There's no evidence that they've actually bought any crypto yet. Any Bitcoin specifically. Yet. Because they're sitting on 4.7 billion of cash. So maybe he thinks that Bitcoin's going lower and then they'll buy it. You know, they're going to try to time the market. We'll see. Oh, what are people talking about out there on the internet? Yeah, CNBC is focused on the Bitcoin aspect. Seems like most people are going to be focused on the Bitcoin story. Like, really, that's your best idea? You own a video game retailer, and your best idea is to buy Bitcoin with your cash?
Yeah.
Or are you not a video game retailer? Like, is that what's happening?
I
been
mean,
following
they
them for a
they
long
don't seem
time.
to tweet about video games as much anymore.
Yeah. It's a lot of Pokemon cards lately, though, Ozzy. Like, they're... I don't know. Let's see. Let's actually look at their Twitter feed. They post really awkward, stupid memes on their Twitter account a lot of the time. Like, they make all these a big fuss about how they're so pro physical media, and then they killed the only game magazine left in America. Okay, so yep, GameStop X PSA. Get your PSA graded cards. That was in October. That's their pinned tweet. And then they tweeted about Bitcoin. They tweeted about their new investor relations website. They tweeted about PSA. Here's a dumb meme. They tweeted about Lego. They tweeted about wanting booklets back in video games, Ozzy, but not a video game specifically. They tweeted about a Magic the Gathering tabletop meetup. And apparently some Nintendo games were going to be there too. Yeah, I think the last time they tweeted about an actual video game was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Ozzy, on March 4th. I don't consider just saying Happy Mario Day a video game tweet. Like, they actually tweeted about a video game on March 4th. That was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Can't wait to see that turn into a crypto meme account. So yeah, if you're cheering for the demise of GameStop, you got to watch for Ryan Cohen to time the Bitcoin market poorly. But yeah, I'd like to know how much Game Informer sold for.
Yeah. I thought Gunzilla Games was an interesting acquirer. It's such a random name.
Is that a video game studio?
Yeah.
And they're founded in 2020?
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've written about them before. I forget what game it was.
So they had raised $30 million last year.
That's right, Off the Grid. That's them.
Mhm.
Is that shooter? Yeah.
I mean, so they have the money.
And they're keeping them fully independent, which is good, but still very random.
And they raised 46 million back in 22. So yeah, they have a ton of cash on hand. I bet it wasn't cheap. I'm really curious how much it sold for, but it's probably just a coincidence. But like, I don't know. When did I tweet too much, considering how terrible that platform is. But to be fair, have you heard Running Wild on the Nintendo Music app, Donovan? Sorry, welcome to the new world.
I need to.
I'm at least 30 plays in at this point. I just had it on loop last night when it dropped. And I love Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That game's underrated.
Very good video game.
That ending is outstanding. Are they going to announce GTA 6 on the GME conference call? Insider Gaming reports. Gonna just keep scrolling. Everyone wants to compare Ryan Cohen to Warren Buffett, but Warren Buffett does not understand Bitcoin at all and would not He has $336 billion in cash at his company right now. My whole thing was that, like, GameStop should buy a company that's better than GameStop. Like, that's it. I still feel that way. Everyone's like, oh, you gotta own GameStop heading into a Switch console cycle. I'm like, do you? Like, what if Nintendo just says, come to Nintendo's website, come to the Nintendo stores to buy this thing for the first few months? Not to mention, they don't really make a whole lot of margin on hardware at GameStop. I guess the good news is that IGN didn't buy Game Informer.
Yeah, that would have been less cool.
That just would have been like, sweet, assimilator died.
I'm pleasantly surprised that anybody bought Game Informer. I was kind of resigned to them just being gone forever.
Like a capital loss on the balance
Yeah.
sheet. Yeah.
Not only did they get acquired, I'm reading Alex Van Aken, who's their video guy, says, we've all received significant raises and many of us long overdue promotions.
Oh, that's so great.
That's wild, man. You don't hear
insane.
about that ever. Like that
Yeah.
they were able to maintain that team and bring them all back is wild.
Yeah. So I think the pessimistic POV, which is what I think we all had when they first started teasing it, was that it'd be like the name and nothing else, right? They just
That's what I said.
Yeah.
for
I
whatever
immediately
writers they
said,
could get to do it.
are they just bringing the name back and are they not bringing the team back? And no,
Mhm.
I was very wrong about this. They brought the team back, and it sounds like the team is being shown the appreciation they deserve.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Which is just, as members of the games media, we've watched our whole industry be thrown in the trash in the public eye, right? So it's nice to see like people be valued, like people and their creative abilities. Yeah, it's almost like AI can't do your jobs, guys.
Would have thought.
Me. That's who would have thought. Me. Said it for a while. And yeah, with shit like we're doing with Shack Maps, like we're gonna keep doing stuff that AI is struggling to do or can't do. Which is why we review so many games here. It's why we write so many guides. And I think Shack Maps is gonna be an extension of that. I'm just happy because I like Game Informer. I love the cover reveals are just exciting.
Yeah, magazine coming back too.
That's what I was super stoked to see that. That like it was like we lost the one magazine we had like in America. Yeah. It was gone. Yeah, it looks like the stock's digesting this news. It's not all good news, it's not all bad news, and then if you're a crypto bull, I guess it's the best news ever. But yeah. I'm trying to sift through the Canton, Ohio weather reports and the Bubbletron post for this one post that I made like weeks ago. Because it's hard to search Twitter now. Like it doesn't really work too well. But yeah, let's see. Let's see how the people are responding. I don't know. Lucci's not asking any questions. He's probably just happy I'm not streaming some football game. invest following the footsteps of MicroStrategy. People keep saying that. It's like, no, other companies have invested in Bitcoin. Didn't Tesla do that?
Yes.
This is not some novel idea. This is like typical GameStop being late to the party. It doesn't matter though, because the people who there was like a very large overlap even early in this GameStop movement between the crypto people and the GameStop people. So much so that when I was in the Wall Street Bets Discord, I would hear them coordinating pump and dumps in shit coins. So they would trade GameStop during the day, and then when the market closed, they would sell their GameStop, and then they would churn crypto overnight, and then they would dump it back into GameStop in the morning.
It's insane.
So yeah, like it was wild. You can go back and look at the charts of like Doge and all those stupid coins back in 2021. You can see what I'm talking about. And it was like open coordination of that kind of stuff. I'm still in that Discord, but it is like just I don't. You know how like Wall Street used to sound because they were like human brokers on the floor shouting at each other and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but 4chan.
That sounds terrible.
It's the worst. Like, I would not recommend it. I went in there because at the time Roaring Kitty was in there and he was like doing talks at night or whatever. They were just having chats. So I actually got to chat with him before everything blew up. So I stayed in there just in case some kind of story broke from there, but no, it is. I don't know. I've heard of other Discords that are pretty bad too, but that one's definitely the worst one I'm in. And I was in the Humane AI Pin Discord.
Man, I remember that.
That one was funny. I don't know. I don't think there's a whole lot here. I don't see anything. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I'm still trying to figure out how exactly they beat earnings. I think it's just cost cutting.
That's the main way that companies are keeping their numbers going up, isn't it? It's just got to cut costs somewhere.
But that's the thing, Ozzy. Like, you're talking about a 20% drop in revenue for them. So for them to actually increase their profitability as their revenue falls off a cliff that's not easy. I don't mean it takes talent. Just doing it is not easy. Let's see. So yeah, their revenue was down for the whole year. It was down 27%. And their profit went from 6.7 million to 131 million in the same time period. So it is, they laid off people. That's definitely part of it, Ozzy, for sure, because their selling, general, and administrative expenses went from 1.3 billion a year ago to 1.1 billion. So there's 200 million in savings right there. And I think that's basically where this comes in, because then interest income, their net interest income was down year over year, so that's offset. They brought their cost of sales down. So I think it's a combination of things. Their gross margins improved from 24.5% to 29.1%. That's part of it. They brought their cost of sales down by 5%, and they brought their SG&A expense down by 14%. So it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Like, they cut costs internally, but they also brought the costs of their sales down. So That's marketing expenses. They're probably, I don't know. Do you guys still have a GameStop near you? Have you been there recently? There's like
I had one a few minutes from me. Yeah.
Is there like how many people are in there working when you go there?
2 at most.
Yeah, usually one. Most I've ever seen is 2.
I have only seen one in the past few years here, so yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
What we got going on social media? Yeah. I'm just a machine that reposts Hello Kitty Island adventure trailers, guys.
Game does well.
It's a good game.
It is a good game.
It's a good game and a good idea. And I'm glad that it's doing well on Switch too, because it's a perfect platform for it.
We had that nominated for a game that should be on Switch, didn't we?
We did. I don't think it won, but it was nominated for sure. It seemed obvious. It's almost like every time Apple Arcade gets like a cutesy game, it's gonna be on Switch in a year.
My only big observation after I was done playing it on Switch was I'm like, what does this game do that Animal Crossing doesn't? And I think that's going to be where a lot of people are at with it.
It has Hello Kitty in it.
Well, that is true.
I think that's part of it.
You trying to say that Isabelle's not cuter than Hello Kitty?
I did not say
Hello
that.
Hello Kitty does not have a Tom Nook though.
Yeah, you can't put me in an Isabelle corner like that, Ozzy. I will. I will not say anything bad about Isabelle.
That is going to be the one thing that this build for Doom: The Dark Ages is missing. Is it's not going to have the Isabelle memes.
I mean, who knows, Ozzy? There's a lot of time between now and May 15th.
Oh, it's true. If we get like Animal Crossing launching on Switch too.
God, there's no way. There's no way.
It's a long shot, but you never know.
I want that to be true, man, but there's just no way. I have had the thought though. I think Mario Maker 3 may be a launch title.
It has been said that that's a good candidate for the mouse if they're doing a mouse.
If that whole their whole Joy-Con, I just, and also Ozzy, it's been 5 years or 6 years since Mario Maker 2, and we've gotten Mario Wonder since then.
It's very true.
Just let me make levels with Elephant Mario in 8-bit. Can you imagine 8-bit Elephant Mario? Of course you can't. They won't do that. I also wonder, like, how would a wonder mechanic work in a Maker game? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else going on here. I think GameStop's kind of become a boring story. If their best idea is we're gonna buy Bitcoin, that's why you raised the $4 billion. That's why you fucked me. The stock was at $60, you dumbasses. It was gonna be at $120 in a week. I think the current strategy is to let the expensive leases just end. They're not canceling leases early. They're just letting things go to term. And now they have enough cash to do that for like 4 or 5 years. I don't know what this company's going to look like in 5 years. But I can tell you that back-to-back profitable years means that it's more likely to be around in 5 years. For better or worse. I do think the pivot to cards makes a lot of sense. But I've been saying that for years, that they should focus on collectibles and exclusives. Pre-order exclusives. But I'll end with the crazier thought. What is 1.75? So before I end this stream, I'm gonna just throw out a question or a thought. Ubisoft is valued at less than $2 billion. GameStop has $4.7 billion. Do you think that unholy union could happen, guys?
I doubt it.
Hope not.
I think Microsoft would buy them before anybody else.
You think Microsoft's allowed to buy anybody?
Probably not, but
After that sweet Activision deal, you think they're gonna be just buying up everybody? After announcing Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation next month, you think they're like, hey, let's buy more devs so we can release games on Switch? I doubt it. Honestly, Nintendo could afford Ubisoft.
that's not their style, though.
No, not at all. But
They can just buy whatever team led the Mario Rabbids game, then
yeah,
let the rest do
well,
whatever.
you know, there's the Rayman team. I
Fair.
think the Assassin's Creed teams, the people who made Shadows, are talented. I don't know. I think there's value there. And also, can you imagine the internet explosion when Assassin's Creed goes Switch exclusive?
Oh god.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it'll happen. But
Yeah.
anyway, I just think Ubisoft's interesting, you guys. That's all I'm saying. Especially because they actually sold decently. The Ass Creed sold pretty well. Yeah, we'll end with a look at this chart. This is the long-term Ubisoft chart. I think this stock is more interesting than GameStop. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, Lucci, all the lurkers out there. Thanks for the follow. Gets spugged. Yeah, that'll do it for this stream. It was probably more informative than what Ryan Cohen would have said if they had the balls to actually do a earnings conference call. But they don't. So yeah, that'll do it. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, it's a beat on the bottom line by GameStop. It's a miss on the top line by GameStop. Revenues are down almost 20% year over year for the full year. And they reported back-to-back profitable fiscal years. So kind of some mixed messages there. And then, yeah, they're going to buy some Bitcoin too. Do you guys have anything else to add?
No, don't think I do.
Hey, well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time, 3 months from now, when GameStop still sucks. Later.